In this video, I'm going over the top 5 accessories that I love as a new runner, and hopefully they'll help you. Spoilers, one of them is even free. Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's great to have you here as always. My name is Jay, and today we're talking about running accessories that I now cannot live without. When you get into running and you start looking into it online and social media like we all do, your algorithm gets absolutely battered with some of the coolest things that you need, and the marketing is everything from running vests, running belts, £1,000 watches, and please ignore the thing on my arm, recovery mitts and recovery devices and everything else in between. And as someone who's a sucker for some marketing, loves a new toy to play with, I've pretty much bought it all. And as someone who's now 6 months into his running journey and starting to achieve what I think are great things for me, because everyone's goals are relative, I can tell you the ones I absolutely love and that are getting used on every single run that I think as a new runner are what you should check out first. First one's a bit of a curveball, guys, and that is apps. That sounds a bit weird, let me explain. We've all got smartphones in this day and age. If you don't, I'm afraid I can't help you with this one. But the amount of powerful resources just through apps on your phone is absolutely massive, and I'm going to take you through some of the super useful ones that I think your running journey needs. First of all, guys, I'm going to start with the Couch to 5K app. This is how I got into running and how I think so many millions of people have. And this is what takes you from week 1 being able to do intervals of jogging for 60 seconds all the way through to week 8 and being able to jog for either 5K or 30 minutes. The name is a bit misleading sometimes in the way I advertise it, but what this is a really powerful tool that just gets you out the door and gets you building the confidence and realizing that your body can do these hard things and really crack the code and get you getting time on feet and running. And I think this is a great way into running, and it will really help you out if you are brand new to running. From there, guys, other apps that are absolutely worth checking out are ones that offer training plans. Now, I think the most widely known is Runner, which I have used for the last 5 months to give me training plans, and the amount I have learned from that is absolutely massive. It's taught me how to schedule my runs, it's slowly increased my distance and give me a custom plan based on my goal, whether that's a race in the future or a distance or a time. It will do that for you, and it will real time use the data to adjust your plan and really teach you about the different sessions, about long runs, how to do and what to do in a tempo run or an interval session and easy runs. And that for me is massive. And when you go into anything new and don't have a clue, something really breaking it down for you and giving you a plan as a very goal and plan and structured person that I am has been invaluable, and I would recommend everyone check it out. You can get kind of a 2-week free trial for Runner as well, and there are a lot of free options. Garmin do a version, there's Nike Run Club, and lots that I'm even forgetting or maybe don't even know about. Let us know in the comments below which one's your favorite to give you training. Next up is the social media of the running space, which is Strava. That's where you can share your runs, follow other people who you can see what they're doing. They might give you feedback. You can plan running routes. What an incredible tool Strava is. And again, one I massively recommend. And there's nothing better when you may be feeling a bit rubbish about Strava than somebody giving you kudos and some credit for the run you've done, and really just it's a really good segue into what could be your first kind of community, although it's online, into meeting other like-minded runners like you. You can look at local runners and everything in between. Definitely check out Strava for everything from planning your routes to maybe a little ego boost to connecting with other runners. And then slight curveball at the end, I use MyFitnessPal because the running improves in line with how my nutrition is, and it's all part of the same package for me. So if you want something where you're going to track your nutrition, that's worth checking out. But as I mentioned, guys, apps are one of the best thing. I have an absolute sea of apps around running and fitness, and honestly, my running journey would be completely different without them, especially in the early days without Couch to 5K and Runner. I'd have been lost without an absolute clue what to do. So get on your phone, get some apps, and you can build everything from your first ever run all the way up to training for a marathon from your phone with free apps, free trials, incredible resources that you'd be silly not to tap into. Guys, number 2 is clothing. And I didn't really take this very seriously at first, and the change it will make is massive. Obviously, you want to get yourself some really good quality moisture wicking material in your running t-shirts and tops and stuff. You want something that's comfortable, and especially if you're going to do long distances, you won't chafe. That would be an absolute catastrophe. If I had to pick a single piece of running clothing that has changed the game for me, it is on screen now. It is the kind of 360 pocket shorts from Twisted. They do a couple of different versions, 2-in-1 shorts. So they've got the kind of half tight underneath to protect from chafing, but the actual secret sauce to these is they have an elasticated waistband 360 around the shorts, and you've got room for everything from your phone, your keys, gels, a soft flask. The amount of stuff you can get in these is actually ridiculous. And I own more pairs than I care to admit now. And to be honest, I won't run in anything else. They're an absolute game changer. For me, I don't want to be wearing a vest or kind of a naked belt or one of the belts. And to be honest, guys, just check out Twisted Running in general. You'll have seen me in more of their t-shirts than I care to admit I've bought. If you've watched any of the videos on this channel, I love them. Super good quality, local brand as well if you're from the Northwest. Go and give them a look. Guys, shoes is super important. So at the start of my running journey, I went to Decathlon and I bought a kind of pair of gym/running hybrid trainers for like 30, 40 quid. And don't get me wrong, they did the job. I trained in those for maybe the first 6 weeks, going out 3 times a week with very minimal issues. And then I thought I'd treat myself. Once I realized that running was for me and I was ready to make the investment, I went and bought myself a proper pair of running shoes, and I got the Nike Vomero 18, and it changed the game. Speed, comfort, effort versus output increased. You could really tell that I now had something on feet that was built to look after me and also kind of push me forwards and help achieve my goals. I went for the Nike Vomero because they are a max cushion shoe, really protect myself, especially as I was new to running. And I'm not saying buy the Nike Vomero 18, although I love them and I've now got a pair of the Plus. But what I am saying is go and look into some running shoes. And if you know running is going to become a long-term part of your life, it is 100% the best investment you'll make. I would also recommend go and get your gait analysis done so you can really tailor the pair of shoes you need for your style of running and the way you run. Now, just to stop after 3 of 5, I think after those 3, you can draw a line under it and you can absolutely stop. You are set, and there are people who only have that stuff who achieve incredible things. Nothing else is needed, but those 3 for me are the big ones that I think you need to address. But I've got 2 more that have got a bit more of a personal bias that have really helped me, and I think they may be things that people overlook. Guys, the first one is the watch. And again, I mentioned at the start of the video, I did go out and buy the big fancy shiny Garmin, and being honest, I don't even use 20% of the features in this. This was a bit of a kind of impulse purchase and a bit of a treat for myself after achieving my first 10K. But get a watch. And that doesn't mean you need to go and buy the super bells and whistles Garmin. There are much more affordable options. There are some really good options on Amazon from brands like Coros and Amazfit, if I'm saying that right, if you want to save a bit more money. Or guys, smartwatches, if you've got a Samsung watch or an Apple watch, ultimately you just need a watch with GPS tracking functionality. Well, I think I can speak for most people when I say achievement is done, and they say we gamify everything in the world these days because achieving goals and doing things better, faster, quicker, etc. certainly is a huge motivational tool for everyone in the world. So being able to track your runs accurately where the phone, your mobile phone probably can't do it too well, and being able to track your distance, your routes, your speed, etc., whichever your primary motivator may be, maybe even if it's calories burned, and then over a 4-week, 6-week, 8-week period, being able to see those incremental improvements because it's measuring correctly is just a massive motivator. And for me, I think if everybody did that, a lot more people would stick with running and keep going and get to their goals because they can see the improvement. And there's nothing better than feeling like you've got a new PB or you've achieved something you want, and it just makes you even hungrier to keep going. Last and probably most controversial, guys, is supplements. And I'm gonna need to dig into this a bit more, but this one has been a game changer for me. I started running, I wasn't paying much attention to nutrition even. I'd lost a lot of weight, so I was eating better and less food, although that's not always the smart option. But I wasn't paying attention to kind of nutrition and fueling the way I ran. In my first couple of months in running, I would run and then I would ache for 3 days. And granted, a lot of that was due to my body not being used to exercise after decade plus of not doing any. And one thing that really changed the game for me was implementing whey protein and creatine. Within a couple of weeks of bringing these in, my recovery was better. I can't necessarily say fact that I think it's improved my performance, but I do believe it has. But the big one for me, especially with the creatine, was it really helped me recover after runs, which ultimately was making me feel better more of the time, making me feel happier, and ultimately letting me get back out on the road more and more because my body was ready for it. So that one for me, as a new runner who really wanted to get more time on feet and more runs in to achieve their goals, game changer. The other one is for people who've been running for a small period of time and you start really pushing those long runs, which is the staple of any training plan. And once you get kind of 10K, regardless of pace is irrelevant here. But once you're starting to do kind of 60 minutes on feet more, you need to be fueling the body or you're gonna crash. And a lot of what hitting the wall is actually your body screaming because it doesn't have the fuel it needs to keep going. So I've definitely learned the hard way when it comes to fueling and what I've been using mid-run. I've obviously tried the gels. I've tried a good number of them now because at first I couldn't keep them down, and I realized you've got to train the gut just as much as the body. So learning about gels and trying different ones to find the one that my body responded well to has been a massive game changer with me as I've been progressing as a runner to move into longer distances and time on feet. I've also had a number of incidents where, let's just say I've said hello to yesterday's dinner due to a combination of not being used to taking things on mid-run and the types of gels I've been using. So I've experimented with some carb drinks as well, like Tailwind, which I am now a huge advocate of, and I tend to try and do a mix of the two, actually, gels and Tailwind, and that's what I've found. But I'm so glad I started early because I knew I always wanted to work towards the longer distances. If that's a goal for you, if you're looking at anything above a 10K, I'd recommend start early, exploring with gels and all that kind of stuff to find out what works for your body so you can get more good sessions in, overcome that early, and come goal day, race day, whatever it may be, your body's ready for it. And that's it, guys. Those are 5 things that I absolutely recommend as a new runner. Some of them are a bit of a quirk and twist on accessories, but I hope this has been useful. Let me know if there's anything obvious you think I've missed that you as a runner cannot live without. Do stick it below. I'm keen to hear from everyone as always. Hope you've enjoyed the videos. Let me know what you want to see next. There's lots more videos coming, and I will see you next time.